is he got the patent in 1970. Remember, patent is valid only for 20 years, right? So 27, 37. In 1937, the patent expired. That means he no longer has got the right to that patent, and from that year, anyone in the world can manufacture and sell. But remember, he got 20 years time exclusive right. During that 20 years, he commercialized enough to earn a lot of money. So this is how the patent works. Now, let's quickly go to the next slide. Yeah. What are the criteria for a patent? So an invention, when you conceive an invention, it always starts with your mind, and then you try to make it realizable. But before that, when it starts on your mind, let me invent this, let me work on this kind of a category, you have to first check what are the different criteria. The first criteria is that novelty. Novelty means if you have got made something which is an invention, whether it will be patentable or not, that will depend on the novelty of the invention. Novelty of the invention means that work, that is your invention, it should not be published anywhere in the world till now. That is when you're going to apply for a patent. Before that, it should not be published anywhere. That is a journal, newspaper, Facebook, Twitter, everything. It should not be in public domain. That is, someone is already using it, you cannot patent it. Someone has shown in an exhibition, cannot patent it. This is already, people are keeping in their homes, you are selling it, cannot be patented. And not form a part of the state of the art. That is, it should not be something which is already a state of the art. That is, it is already available. It is, everyone knows about it. Such things cannot be clear this novelty criteria. Now, if you have developed something, always try to keep it secret until you file a patent. After you file a patent, then you can publish it, no problem, because patent is valid from only the date of the filing. The second criteria is inventive step. Your invention, that invention, it should have some technical advance from the previous inventions. That is, such as this ballpoint pen. J.L. Biro invented it. What was the previous, technical advance? Technical advance is that in the fountain pen, it is used for leaks, and that's why you keep fountain pen. Writing is not smooth because how the ink flows. If you not use fountain pen for a long time, the ink dries up. All those things. Those are solved by the ballpoint pen. So ballpoint pen has got a technical advance. That is a technically advanced, but thing is the very similar. That is, you have a tube which is contain ink, just have to put the ink on the paper. Or you can have some economic significance. That is, if you can make something cheaper by using some different materials, which is also a challenge, then it can be an inventive step. And number two of the inventive step is that it should not be obvious to a person scaling the art. So it means that if you have invented something which is very obvious, yeah, I can also do it. If a carpenter invents a tool with a 4 legs, another one can also invent with a 3 legs. It's very obvious, so that cannot be patented. Or if you are, if you are very much knowledgeable about what is going on regarding different pen, you combine those knowledge and you create an invention. But if you can combine, I can also combine. So in this case, it is obvious. Therefore, it cannot be got for patent. You have to do some experiments to arrive at an invention, then only you will clear the inventive step. And the third is the industrial applicability. What you have made, the invention, it should be realizable, it should be made in the industry, it should be able to be put it in the industry for use. That day one person inquired me about whether I can patent a move of a person, a yoga move, a new yoga posture and movement has been developed. Whether I can patent it? Yes, if you check it, it is novelty because nothing is there till now it's new. Inventive step is the yes, it is better than the previous step, but there is no industrial applicability. You cannot take a move to the industry, right? In move is what is physical posture. Physical posture anyone can give it. You cannot prevent someone, so you cannot get a patent because of the industrial applicability. But in case of this zipper or chain, yes, can be made in the industry, it can be used in the clothing, so industrial applicability is there. Even after these, the section 3 of the Patents Act 1970 tells some things you cannot patent in any other way. That is, 3A says that frivolous or against natural laws cannot be patented. First law of thermodynamics, the energy equations. If you say that I have made an engine that gives 100% efficiency, cannot be patented. Okay. Then frivolous inventions. In design of the inventions, some inventions are just just to show off, getting some design. Those cannot be registered. Then cannot, contrary to public order. So public order, say if you invent a machine which shoots out some sounds that makes the public mad, go kill each other, so you cannot patent it because it will be contrary to public order. Morality is also there, and also harm. So lethal weapons, those things cannot be patented. Then discovery of a scientific principle, abstract theory. So mainly if you have discovered some kind of a new equations, some kind of a new theory, so those are, say, mathematical, scientific, it can go for other statistical also. Those you cannot patent it, because if you patent it, then to use that scientific principle, everyone has to take permission from you. So this is already excluded from patents. Then section 3D is very important, new form or use of a known substance. So if there is already a substance already available, such as a medicine, you try to improve the medicine, but it is not much significant improvement. So this section 3 prevents such kind of a patent registration. Or new use of a known substance, such as you are using toothpaste to clean your teeth. If you are using the toothpaste to clean grease of a metallic surface, that is not patentable because it's a new use of a already known substance. Then substance obtained by physical admixture. If you mix some A, B, C, D, come into a product, just mixing alone will not give you any patent. It has to go some changes. Then the mere arrangement or rearrangement, duplication of known devices. So you have got two devices working differently. If you just attach or rearrange them, step 1, step 2, rearrangement, then those things will not be patentable. So such as you have got an eraser. If you put the eraser at the back of the some kind of a pen, then that is naturally not patentable until and unless you do some non-arrangement thing in there. Then method of agriculture or horticulture. If you have a new method of watering your paddy field, or how to cut your grass, how to how to sow your seeds, those method is not patentable. But agricultural machines are patentable. Agricultural, even pesticides also are patentable. But the method of agriculture, how to cultivate, how much you have to dig for the plantation, those things are not patentable. Any process for medical or surgical treatment of diseases. So this relates to doctors. If you give patent to doctors, then every time the doctor performs a surgery, you have to get a license. You have to pay some extra money. So that's why it is already excluded. Then plants and animals in whole or any part thereof. You have gone to some great jungle, you find a new plant. So that is just discovery. You cannot patent it. Plants, if you make a new varieties of plants, it can be registered separately in Plant Variety Protection and Farmers' Rights. Okay. Then any kind of a mathematical or business model, computer programs go for copyright only. Then literary, dramatic, musical, artistic works, they all goes for copyright. And mere scheme or rule or method of playing a game, how to play cricket well, how to play cricket to hit 6 sixes in an over. If you find that out, then you cannot patent it. A presentation of information, if you just present some information to someone, topography of integrated circuits, this is separately covered under semiconductor IC layout design, and traditional knowledge, very important. Traditional knowledge, if you know, just like the case of the haldi and neem, if you try to patent it, then under this, the patent cannot be granted. Anything, if you want to patent, especially herbal substances, they always check for traditional knowledge, whether it is present there or not. If it is present, cannot be patented. Next, biological inventions are patentable, but only microorganisms. Only microorganisms. Out of the microorganisms, you cannot patent it. Even if you genetically modify plants and animals, except microorganisms, nothing is patentable. If you are able to find some, synthesize some microorganisms artificially, and then those microorganisms, they need to be deposited in the we have got Institute of Microbial Technology Chandigarh as a sample there. You have to take a permission from the National Biodiversity Authority of India, because those things are covered under the Biological Diversity Act 2002. So even if your invention uses some biological material such as leaves and twigs, then also you have to get permission from NDA. Say your invention is based on banana plant, using banana plant, extracting something out of it and getting something. If you want to go for patent, then you have to take permission from NDA before the patent grant. These are all the rules in the patent regime. So till now, I think patent is clear, and I'll go for the patent stages. Any questions about patent till now, anyone? I think it's pretty clear to everyone. That's very nice. Yeah, I'll continue. So patenting stages, different stages of patenting. When you've invented something, then first of all, you have to go for a patent search. You have to search for, remember, novelty, whether it is new or not, inventiveness, industrial applicability, and also you have to check in the section 3 and section 4 whether it is patentable or not. If you find that yes, it is patentable, it has cleared everything, then you have to apply for the patent in the form of a patent application. The patent application usually consists of some forms such as Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 5. And their Form 2 is your actual specification. In the Form 2, you have to declare what are the different kinds of aspects of your invention, what are your invention contains, what are different components, how they work together, what are the different, say, compositions are there in case of the medicines, chemicals, and about the experiments that you have conducted. Regarding all those things totally together, you have to file an application to the patent office. When you file an application to the patent office will assign an application number along with a date. From that date, the patent will be valid even after it is granted after 2 to 3 years. So once you file a patent application, then only you can go for publication, even in case of research journals. Before that, do not publish in any research journals. First file the patent, then only go for publication. And after filing the patent, you can go for commercialization also. You have to say that this is a pending patent or patent pending. When you file a patent application, then the application is examined a little bit about the formality check, and then it will be published in a patent journal. Patent journal comes out every Friday of the week, and in the journal, your abstract along with a figure, your details, name and everything will be published. But this publication happens only after 1.5 years, that is 18 months. However, you can also make this publication within 1 month by applying in Form 9 and paying some fees. Now, when it is published in the patent journal, that means what? Every world will come to know that yes, this person is trying to apply for a patent. So there is a chance of anyone in the world who can object, because patent, someone might copy this information from someone and try to patent it. Then someone can object that no, this is not patentable under this one, under this section, right? And then it can be stopped at that side. Now, if there is no objection, then that patent application goes for examination by the patent office. So in the patent office, there are examiners, assistant controllers, deputy controllers who are very conversant in the specific field. If you file a biological patent, then there will be examiners, very experienced examiners of biological patents. They are only for biological patents. They will examine your application. If you file mechanical patents, mechanical people are different. When they will examine, and they will examine and issue an examination report. The report will say whether it is novel, it is inventive, or it is industrial applicability is there or not. Any section there, they will give you a report. Now, if you find some report that there is only 2 patents cited, you have to reply, give justification. After that, if the justification is satisfied, the examiner or the controller will grant you the patent. Granting the patent means just giving you the patent certificate, your name will be written, title of the invention, when you have applied, and when it is granted. But it will be effective from the date of application only. And when it is granted, after it is granted, it is again published in the patent journal, because patent can also be objected after grant also, but only for 1 year, within 1 year. Now, when it is published in a journal, 1 year time you have. Someone can even go for opposition and prevent the patent from granting. So this happened in case of Neem and Haldi cases. They only came to know after it was granted. So they have to apply for opposition after. And now if there is no opposition from the date of application, you get an exclusive right for 20 years. Now, what is the fees for filing a patent in India? Nowadays, even education institutions, they come under the natural person category. So basic filing of a patent will cost you 1,600 rupees. And for other means, if you have a company or a big organization, which is not a startup or a small entity, it goes for about 8,000 rupees. Early publication is, I just told about how to publish early within 1 month instead of waiting for 18 months, that will be 2,500. Examination fees is there, compulsory and mandatory, so 4,000 rupees. And after the patent grant, the patent has to be renewed from the 3rd year till 20th year. So every year you have to pay a renewal fee. So these are the renewal fees. These are for only e-filing, that is online filing only. However, if you file it offline, then you have to pay an extra of 10% fees. Where do you have to file the patent application? We have got 4 patent offices, that is at Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. Kolkata is the head office. And all the states of the Northeast West Bengal, they have to apply at Kolkata. We cannot apply at Delhi because we are designated only to apply in Kolkata. Similarly, in the South, people can apply in Delhi. In the North, Chennai in North, they can apply in Delhi. In the West, they can apply in Mumbai. This is the address of the patent office in Kolkata. And the email ID and also the website is ipindia.nic.in, and now it is ipindia.gov.in also. Now, I'll just show you just what is the patenting process. The patenting process involves, when you are inventing something, first of all, you have to disclose your invention to some professional person who can search your invention. So you can give us to us, just like we are Patent Information Center from the government. We serve for patent processes, all the process. Or if you hire some attorney, then you have to give the details of your invention, but this has to be done secretly. Because if it leaks out, that some other might go and patent it. So before getting any kind of publication, go for patent, and you disclose the patent to the professional. Then the professional will make a patentability analysis. He or she will do the searching, and then he will give you a report that yes, this is patentable or part of it is patentable. Then the next stage will be the patent drafting. You have to write about the patents, figures you have to give, what is the method, what is the process, experimental results, and then you have to file it along with the fees and different forms. Then the patent will be examined. Then if there is any objection, you have to reply to it, and then there will be the patent grant. You will get the certificate. After getting the certificate, you can renew the patents. Interestingly, the patent, once you have filed it, then only you can start the commercialization. No need to wait till getting the grant of the patent. Okay. So I'll just give only a few examples of the patent. So till now, any questions do you have? I've come to the end of presentation for patents. Any questions about patents? You may ask me. We have got about 15 minutes of time.
Students and other listeners, participants who have questions, you can ask your questions now.
If you have any questions. Any question? If you have only silly questions also, you can ask me. Like many people ask me like this will be patentable or not. Just like the example I gave about the yoga move. That one was a really new one. Anyway, if you have got something in mind, you can drop in the message box while I continue with some of the achievements on the granted patents. So last financial year, we got 5 patents granted. So the first 2 belong to the same person. He's Manoj Kumar Das. He's from Kanjo. And he had got 2 patent grants, that is 373964. This was for bamboo reinforced cement concreting. And the second one was 384647. It was concreting over bamboo specs. Actually, I had drafted and searched and done whole process for him. It was wonderful. It was filed in 2013 and 14, but got a little late for granted because there was a lot of backlog. But still, we got it granted. So his technology is like using bamboo in construction of civil structures. So it includes both the things, that is the columns, beams are there. Then you can put the whole bamboo come inside with some treatment. And these 2 patents are actually method patent. There is a process patent, the process of how to construct it. Then how you can take the bamboo, cut the bamboo, what is the length, what is the thickness of the bamboo, how can you treat it, how much concrete, what will be the size, all those things are together, comes for the columns, beams. And then the second patent is concreting over, yeah. Yes, anything?
Sir, but the weight of this bamboo is too much for this, sir.
What
Storing
is,
and all.
yeah, what is the what? I didn't
Sir,
get
the weight of the bamboo is,
weight of the bamboo.
for different beam and all, like,
Yes, yes.
sir, to make a beam.
Exactly, to make the beam, no? So a typical beam, whatever is the weight of the typical beam, no, is mainly because of the concrete and also the steel rebars that you have inside. By using this bamboo, less concrete is used, and the bamboo weighs less than the steel concrete is there. So interestingly, the structure is about 20 to 30% lighter than the actual structure which you made from the similar structure which you can make from the typical, the steel rod and concrete. So it is lighter, but in case of strength, it is equivalent strength. Now, this inventor, he has developed an equation. In the equation, what you can do, you can put the different parameters for your column. The designers, the architects, structural designers, they give you the numbers, right? So this pillar should be this much. So there should be this much rod, this much concrete. That is the size. Concrete grade is say this M30, M20. Now those parameters you put it into this equation. That equation will give you results of what kind of bamboo you will need, what are the bamboo structure, the length, diameter, and everything, and what is the minimum concrete you use. So like that, you can convert your equation into the. And the second patent, it relates to the slab, that is the casting. That is the slab we do know in our RCC slab. That slab is done by bamboo splits. It is the breaking the bamboo, opening it, split is there. There you have to give, the concrete and also a very thin framework, and then you can cast the slab. Interestingly, this slab is very thin compared to the slab that we'll have, about 5 millimeters thin. And as a result, this slab is also lighter. So because of these two things, taking the light, aspect, you can construct, not only 2, 3 stories, 4, 5 stories also you can construct, but the whole structure will be light. That's why it has made also earthquake, proof to a great extent than concrete structures. Okay, then the next patent we got 5.2 I shared with you. Then the other 2 patents are, one is this 384540, which was gravity and buoyancy actuated reciprocating power generation system. This is very similar to what looks like, an piston cylinder arrangement of an internal combustion engine. But here it's different. It's used in a water body. In the water body, what happens when this piston is there? The piston is closed and has got 2 valves. It's a hollow piston. So when it is filled up with the fluid or the water, its own weight is there, and along with its own weight, it sinks to the bottom. So there is one motion. When it reaches the bottom, then the water or fluid inside is taken out, so it becomes buoyant. It again comes out, and this this mechanism, this to and fro reciprocating mechanism, is used to generate electricity. So it already got some scope from the Honorable Chief Minister, and he is trying to improve and implement it in practice. By using this invention, he claims that we do not need big hydroelectric projects. Small projects can do energy generation. The 4th patent is, you can say, 376603. This is for Naga King Chili dryer. This is Bhut Jolokia also in Assam, we call it. So here what happens is a totally closed dryer, because King Chili or Bhut Jolokia, even if you dry, it's a little bit of vapor comes out, it will get a lot of heat. Closed dryer, and in the closed dryer you do not need to attend to the chilies. Usually when we do drying, then it has to be dried from the bottom, dried from the top, sides and everywhere. So typical when we have dryers, we take out the chilies, again we do a little bit of like this, rearrange them, again put it down. But in case of Naga King chili, you cannot do it because it's very high heat. So he had developed closed dryer. But the problem is that in the closed dryer, how do we dry from both the sides? That's why his invention is actually this draft fan. The whole fan and the apparatus, it stays inside the big dryer, but the handle that you see, number 19, it is set in the handle. That handle remains outside, and from the 2 scoops on the outside, fresh air goes, cools the fan, and then the air goes for heating. So because of this, he had 2 things. One is that by using that handle, he can change the draft of the hot air from the bottom. Chilies are like this, it will go from the bottom, and again change it the direction, it will again go from the top. Great, drying. The draft fan, it is on the inside of the dryer. Imagine how much heat in the inside. It's almost like 80 degrees. In 80 degrees, draft fan, like normal, fan that we have, if you put inside, it will burn out. His invention is that from the sides, fresh air goes, it hits the fan motor, and then only that air goes inside. That's why the fan is protected. It's a very wonderful invention. He is also selling this invention. And the final 5th patent is from Kamaranda Bormundoy, from Gopur, patent number 38073, sediment return ground-based multi-stage water filter. So basically it's an iron filter with also capability to remove some amount of arsenic and fluoride also. However, in this filter, the main inventive feature is that what are the sediments that you find, that is the the reduced iron that we have, it is again returned to the ground, but below the fertile layer and above the water table. You can see if you have got a water filter in your homes, it needs periodic cleaning. Cleaning is a big thing. And after the cleaning, the residue that you have, where do you keep it? You cannot keep it. No, you flush it down the drain. It will go down the drain. It will go to the soil and damage the fertility of the soil. And that's why in his invention, that sediment is again put to the ground, but just below the fertile level. So this is a wonderful invention. He has already implemented about 5-6 of the types in various places in Gopur also, Naga also, and has got a great success. So these are all the patentees that has got the patent grant. And if anyone is interested, you can ask them for commercialization and also for making some kind of a filters and other things in your home. Okay. So I've come to the end of my presentation. So this was all for IPR's introduction details and about the patents. These are the addresses we have. If you have anything, you can look into those. And almost, I think, 3 minutes I've completed well before time. Now, any questions I can have, I can take them some questions. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. We now are moving ahead towards our interactive session. So we have 3 to 4 minutes in our hands. Dear participants, I request you to come up with your questions if you have any.
So I have checked the message box also. There is no questions. I think I was pretty clear about the IPR and the patent. And some questions may come later on, and you can get back to me also from the organizers. So it's okay. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a very informative and enlightening talk. I believe the listeners have been highly benefited by the crucial points forwarded by you in today's lecture. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We are now moving ahead towards the second session of the lecture. And I would take the opportunity to introduce our second esteemed speaker, Dr. Bijay Kumar Sahu, sir. Dr. Sahu is a technology, intellectual property, innovation management professional in academics, training and profession with more than 15 years of work experience. Dr. Sahu has done his master's in science and has earned his MPhil and doctorate degrees from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, India. He has a special interest in intellectual property rights and technological capabilities with special references to biotechnology innovation. Dr. Sahu is a recipient of Royal Danida Fellowship from Royal Kingdom of Denmark for his work on innovation strategy and IPR commercialization. He received his executive diploma from Copenhagen Business School, CBS, Denmark. Presently, Dr. Sahu is heading Intellectual Property Facilitation Center, IPFC, and Technology and Innovation Support Center, TISC, at National Research Development Corporation, NRDC, Government of India at Visakhapatnam. Recently, Dr. Sahu received National IP Awards from Government of India as the Best Technology Innovation Support Center in contributing towards IP innovation and technology commercialization for the year 2020. Dr. Sahu is also the recipient of IP Excellence Award from World IP Forum, WIPF, for the year 2021 for IP education and training and innovation management, and he received Global IP Convention Awards by GIPC during 12th Global IP Convention for the year 2019. He also received ASSOCHAM and IPTSC Award for the promotion of IP facilitation and innovation management in the country. He is considered as one of the top 100 IP leaders from India by World IP Forum for the year 2018. Dr. Sahu was the keynote speaker at the UNESCO EdTech 2018. He spoke on IP and innovation in educational curriculum. He has facilitated and managed many patents, trademark, design, copyright, and other IP-related issues at various universities, startups, MSMEs, PSUs, and transferred and commercialized many lab-scale and proven technologies to various startups, MSMEs, and industries. He is also managing the IP and innovation of various PSUs like RINL, NALCO, OFB, BEML, and many more PSUs. Dr. Sahu coordinated a Government of India task force study under DSIR on innovation policies in China, Korea, and Taiwan, implication for India. Today, sir is going to speak on the topic IP facilitation and technology transfer and commercialization. Sir, we are very delighted to have you here with us today. Over to you. Dr. Sahu, sir.
Sir was there, but I think he got disconnected, maybe.
Okay.
Because he was online. Let us see.
Okay, sir. Dear participants, please stay back. Sir has got disconnected. He will be getting back to the session.
And also, I request the participants to fill up the feedback form, which has been shared in the message box. So kindly share for the first session, and based on the feedback form, the certificate will be issued to you. Thank you.
Dr. Sahu sir has joined. Welcome, sir.
So can you
Good
hear
evening,
us?
sir.
Am I?
Good evening, sir. Dr. Sahu sir, you are audible, sir. I believe sir has got some network issue. Yes, sir. Sir, you are audible, but you are not visible, sir.
Okay, just 1 second. Yeah, now I'm audible, visible. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Sir, you are visible.
Just give me 1 second only.
Sure, sir.
I hope, madam, my PPT is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Thank you. And thank you for giving me this opportunity because of there is a rain outside at my home. So there is a power disturbance. So I'm extremely sorry for this delay, but I am grateful to all of you for giving this opportunity. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, very much.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you. But in fact, my previous speaker already touched upon the basic fundamental about intellectual property. And friends, it is the time for all of us to realize why we are talking about intellectual property and patents and all other IP in academia. It is the time for all of us to mitigate the challenge of the nation, because in the innovation index, India is the second largest country in the world. Our global innovation index is 46. And our dependency on import of technology is very high. I think more than 70% we depends on import of technology. So when we are talking about technology and innovation, somewhere we are lacking in our infrastructure ecosystem and also facilitation of intellectual property to the stakeholder from academia, industry, government, and startup. So, we are in the changing paradigm of ecosystem of innovation. And in fact, Madam Dr. Bhattacharya has already touched upon my credential. Our role is to connect the dot, bringing academia and industry. So in fact, my topic is related to that, how we are connecting to academia, how we are connecting academic to industry and MSME and startup. So in that respect, I will take next, 35 minutes, and I hope you will bear, and any kind of question, any kind of inputs, and any kind of suggestion and any kind of support. If you need IP support from us, in not only in patent, trademark, design, copyright, GI, all of this, Nrdc will do free of cost of your IP, and also not only in IP filing, also we will take care the IP commercialization and IP monetization. So at the end of the day, the IP must be connect to our society, and people of the country should get the benefit. So friends, my presentation start with the quote of Lord Buddha. If you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. You are aware that we have a continuous changing paradigm of ecosystem of innovation with all the policy flagship program put in place. We have National Education Policy 2020. We have National Innovation Startup Policy 2019. We have National Intellectual Property Policy 2016. So these are the policy has created a benchmark and also support mechanism to facilitate innovation in academia, industry, and government. That is the need of the hour for all of us. And today we must have to understand the need of innovation and need of knowledge. And knowledge must be acknowledged, because the creativity, inventions come from anyone must be protected, because we are in the WTO ecosystem where protectionism is very, very important. So friends, education disseminate known knowledge, research convert money into knowledge, innovation convert knowledge into money. How we are making knowledge into money, that I will take some time before with you. And any kind of question you can ask, and we can discuss, we can collaborate, and we can coordinate and support with each other for the nation building. This year, the WIPO has a great mandate and mission, and theme of World IP Day of this year was IP and Youth Innovating for a Better Future. How we can build the capacity of our next generation leaders towards innovation is very, very important. Today, academic degree has a value, but there is a significant value in the market is our skill and innovation. So skill plays a very important role, and we need to nurture the skill of our next generation leader so that they can be a great leader of the next economy, who can create job, who can create innovation for the sustainable growth of the society. Friends, there is a paradigm shift through innovation. Innovation has changing the momentum. We have seen in COVID-19 how tracing, testing, and treating of COVID-19 technology we came across. And in that, we supported many more, we connected many more, we commercialized many more. Today, India is, once upon a time, was importing PPE kits. Now, we are export potential in not only PPE kits, in tracing, testing, and also COVID-19 vaccine. So friends, we must have to realize that the ecosystem is moving toward knowledge economy to creative economy, where the industry 4.0 of artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchain, machine learning plays a very, very important role. Friends, it is necessary for all of us to aware the students and academia that next generation or next decade will be the critical decade where 46% of the workforce will be engaged in entirely new job that do not exist today. For that, we need to create a radical skill set. So it is a time for all of us, and I will certainly compliment Assam Downtown University to connect me and also giving me an opportunity to connect particularly with you all. So that's our collaboration and that's our coordination and learning from each other, support from each other, so that we can next take our next level of invention from your bench lab scale to a market scale or bench side to a bedside. That is very, very important. And certainly the intellectual property right is need of the hour. We need to create that momentum. And you are also aware that university has also in the recent time, government is measuring the innovation index. University, those who are IP centric, they are getting award, recognition, rewards, and opportunity of collaboration. Not only in a entrepreneurship scale, it is for the research and development for the faculties, R&D collaboration, R&D networking. Many more opportunity are there, and we have realized, because academics is not only for the books of information, it is for the skill, innovation, research and development, and scale up and validation. Friends, navigating a new business, the future is foggy. So whatever we are doing in the market today, because market driven economy where we are living, so whatever demand in the market, that we need to push. But before venturing to the market, we need to protect our intangible asset. We need to protect our intellectual property. And my friend Dr. Devnath has already touched upon the protection of intellectual property right, particularly on patents. So there are various forms of intellectual property that are there. So before venturing to the market, we must have to protect that patent, trademark, design, copyright, including geographical indication of goods, so that there should not be any infringement, there should not be any plagiarism, there should not be any kind of violation of IP right. Because today, not only in industry and MSME, in the academics also issues of plagiarism and copyright violation is there. So it is the time and it is the momentum we need to create, so that academics, R&D and innovation and skill we can create, and create an enabling ecosystem for our students. If they have any kind of idea, if they have any kind of design, that must be protected, because we are in the protectionism era of the WTO under the trade-related aspect of intellectual property rights. Friends, being an Indian, when we talked about patent, in fact, unfortunately also, we are in not top 10 in the global patent application as a country. So you might be aware that how China, US, Japan, Germany are leading. And today, if you see, China is globally #1 in the form of intellectual property protection, particularly in the patent sector. And it is need of the hour for all of us to create such kind of momentum at our academic institution, because academic is a place where knowledge created, knowledge must be managed, knowledge must be protect, and knowledge management is very, very important. And that's we talked about intellectual property management, because we are talking about intellectual output of intellect of the nature of inventor, whoever it may be a student, maybe a faculty, maybe a researcher, maybe a scientist, maybe a MSME, and maybe a startup. So we need to bring Lakshmi and Saraswati together. Saraswati is a place of academics, and a lot of idea we have. That idea we might not be protecting, but that idea may be useful for industry, MSME, and startup. That's the idea we are talking about the patent. That idea we are in the form of copyright. That idea in the form of design. That idea in the form of trademark. So IPR, intellectual property, bridge the gap between academia and industry and connect the dot. And whatever the idea we create, we must look how it can be protected in the form of intellectual property. And if we scale up, validate, commercialize, certainly that will goes to the industry, and common people of the society will get the benefit of that product and process that was generated. I like to give you some of the example how we are bridging the gap between academia and industry. Amul baby food. This was developed in CSIR, CFTRI. We transfer this Amul baby food, and today million infant of the country and society are mitigating the challenge of nutritional product. And this Amul is nothing but a brand that was developed in an academic institution and transferred to an industry. And today, more than 20,000 ton annually, this infant food coming in the brand name of Amul spray. That brand name is nothing but the trademark. That is nothing but bringing Lakshmi and Saraswati together. We have seen in the case of COVID-19 how COVID-19, the second phase, we lost many of our known faces. And at that time, there was a ray of hope when INMAS DRDO came out with a two-digit drug. That lab was given license for commercialization to Dr. Reddy. And today, million people are mitigating the challenge of COVID-19. That is nothing but the IP creation at labs and transfer for commercialization to industry. And people of the country are mitigating the challenge. That is nothing but the IP commercialization, IP support, and IP management in the country. How to bring Lakshmi and Saraswati? You can see from this. I hope PPT is visible to Madam Dr. Bhattacharya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. So you can see this is one of the technology we transfer to one of the industry called Vectrogen Biological Private Limited. And this was developed by the scientist who is standing with me on right and along with our research scholar. And this industry who came forward and invest for this technology, and this technology has a great demand for that this is a nutraceutical for our eye, and scientists who developed got the royalty, getting the royalty, and also getting the reward recognition in the knowledge society as an inventor, as a scientist. At the same time, this IP has been commercialized, monetized, and million people of the country are getting a sustainable or indigenous product of the nation, mitigating the challenge. So this is innovation, this is intellectual property management, and that's create value to the society, and also creating opportunity to the institution in R&D collaboration, R&D networking, and also funding mechanism in contract research, collaborating research, granting research, and sponsored research. Friends, industry academia interaction is need of the hour, and that's the IIC you have under the Ministry of Educational Innovation Cell. So that is there to nurture, leverage, protect, manage, and also create skill and innovation to the member of that institution or all the stakeholders of the institution. And that's our role as a national organization, Nrdc, in the country. Innovation is a long-term health of economy. So we need a healthy root system, and that the IIC has the opportunity to leverage innovation, idea, concept, and knowledge creation and creativity at the institutional level, so that we can have a healthy root system for the tree to flourish. And that is nothing but the long-term health to the economy. Friends, academic technology transfer plays a very important role in benefiting society and economy. You can see from this slide how in United States of America, academic technology transfer, academics IP, academic innovation, and startup playing an important role in product development and economic growth of the nation. So this kind of momentum we need to create so that our people will get benefit. So IPR is the biggest challenge, not only in academics to the industry, MSME, and also government sector. And one of the biggest challenges today, we are talking about Special 301 provision. So we must not look for the publication, we must look for solving a valid problem of our society, so that we can come out the new idea, invention, IP creation, and also IP commercialization. We must to be out of box, like Indian Bollywood movie 3 Idiot, how Khonsung Wangdu has patent for which Chaturamalinam came all the way to get the patent. So patent is nothing but the invention which has a great value for industrialization, industrial use, and also the innovation which has a great invention and societal impact to the society. Our role as a NRDC is to leverage, nurture, manage, protect, and commercialize the innovation created by our academics people, R&D people in the country. We respect for innovation, we give award for innovation, and also we mentor for innovation, incubation, and also we do capacity building program for innovation and IP creation. We transfer many innovative technology that was patented, so that once we commercialize, we can share the benefit to the money to the creator of the IP. That's our role and mechanism. We not only confine to IP protection, we do for scale up and validation and technology validation, so that we can do a commercialization and get a appropriate partner for commercialization. That's our mandate and mission. We have been supporting to many startup entrepreneurs in the country, providing a appropriate technology to the MSME and industry, so that they can come out with a new innovative technology to the nation to mitigate the challenge and create value to the country and nation building. Other than this, in fact, Government of India, our Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, the program for Women Scientist program. This is the Kiran program. This is one of the most beautiful program that has been inducted by Government of India, and this is the one of the way to build the skill and innovation and entrepreneurship to the qualified women towards IP and IP creation and IP management. Any problem?
No, sir, it's absolutely fine.
Okay. So, friends, now we are in a very typical challenging situation, and every challenge there is an opportunity. And in this challenges time of COVID-19, we came out with many solutions, from COVID-19 vaccine to tracing, testing, and treating of COVID-19. So, friends, innovation is a long-term health of economy, and innovation is always market-driven, invention-driven, and technology-driven. So when we talked about innovation, we must look into the intellectual property, because intellectual property is something plays an important role in leveraging innovation and benefit sharing to the the creator of the intellectual property. We have all this intellectual property in the form of patent, copyright, trademark, design, layout, design of integrated circuit, plant varieties and protection right, copyright, geographical indication of goods. We need to create, because in India, if you see, I'll give you the example of other country. In China, last year, more than 15 lakhs patent filed. US, more than 7 lakhs patent filed. In India, less than 53,000 patent filed. So point I wanted to tell you is that sometime we might be not getting an opportunity to protect our patent, or we are not able to facilitate the patent or the IP to the common people, or might be there is no awareness. So it is the time for all of us to create awareness and reach out to all the stakeholders so that we can create, protect, and exploit the intellectual property. That's why India needs more invention. India needs more innovation to mitigate the challenge. The importance of intellectual property right for the academics activities, we can create an opportunity of collaborative research, and some of the beautiful opportunity the Assam Downtown University has, because you are sitting in a biological diversity, biological rich diversity, where a lot of bioprospecting, drug development can be takes place, and there can be a benefit sharing. And in that, you can create many more contract research, grant-funded research, collaborative research, and sponsored research. In that, your intellectual property will important role for all kind of research activity, and also incubation and benefit sharing. At the same time, student can also go towards entrepreneurship and startup, and also they can license their technology to the needy industry and MSME for the commercialization. So we must look and we must integrate our research and development with intellectual property, so that we can create a commercial value of intellectual property and also mitigate the challenge of ours as far as the benefit sharing of intellectual property is concerned. We need to integrate our intellectual property into our institution in human resource, marketing, strategy, and finance. So intellectual property is not a, intellectual property must not be considered as the one of the negative right, but we must have to create the value from intellectual property in various way, and that value we must have to create through our inventorship, our ownership, and also our originality of the work, in terms of collaboration, in terms of networking, in terms of brand building, in terms of licensing, and also many more strategy. In that strategy, we can create a strategy of IP so that we can extract the value of intellectual property. That I will discuss in due course of time. So certainly intellectual property has a great benefit to the economy and innovation, but certainly it will create a more opportunity to our startup and entrepreneurship. That what we are doing and how you can avail our services, that I will touch upon. So there must be an institutional IPR policy. Assam Downtown University might have a IPR policy at your institution. Already DPIIT came out with that policy guideline. You can adopt that policy so that you can it will be a Bible for everyone to management of intellectual property of your university. Certainly, it will help particularly the review and monitor of the publications, student thesis, books by faculty, research project, and also help in incubation, facilitate technology transfer, scout for R&D collaboration for contract research, collaborating research, grant in research, sponsored research, so that you can create an opportunity. In that IP policy, there should be a benefit sharing. The faculty will also get the benefit over the creativity of IP, and that will be the Bible for everyone, so that everyone will respect, because intellectual property is a legal right. So friends, we need to create such kind of mechanism so that the researcher faculty must get some kind of benefit sharing from the creation of the intellectual property once it got commercialized. So you innovate, we are there to protect all your IP free of cost. That's our mandate and mission. And we must have to look into other aspects of intellectual property like copyright. Copyright plays a very important role today in our academia, and because of the piracy, because of the illegal activities of copyright, India is losing 60,000 jobs annually. We need to brand our product. Branding is most important. The way we talk traditionally, jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai. Same way, we have to brand whatever the product developed by the startup or entrepreneurship, and that's we talked about trademark. And that trademark is nothing but we recognize the product and there is a goodwill gesture. And fourth important intellectual property, I talked about the geographical indication of goods. That is the societal community right. Community has the right so that we can do value addition, so that our community will get the benefit of our products that has a great value in export. And we need to create such kind of momentum, value addition, and also transfer to the community, transfer to the industry, transfer to the MSME, and so that we can share the benefit with the creator of the IP as far as the commercialization of intellectual property is concerned. Nrdc, as a national organization, we source the technology from various labs, support for IP. We do IP management, IP support, IP facilitation. We do give seed funding, and we do develop help for the prototype, field testing, market survey, DPR, and also we have been providing incubation services. Nrdc gives national award, and also transfer and commercialization of the technology or IP developed by the labs to the industry, and share the benefit to the university or IP whoever created, and also collect the royalty every year and share the same. That's our beautiful mechanism of management of innovation, bridging the gap between academia and industry. Friends, so how we do scout the technology? We scout various labs, various institutions, university in the country, and we identify the technology. We do DPR, market survey, and as for the demand of the technology, we do value addition of, and also scale up, and then we do publication and license the technology. This is the model what we adopt, and we have been doing across the country. As far as the technology readiness level, at the level of 7th, and then we make it a innovation readiness level. That innovation readiness level has a freedom to operate, market acceptability, consumer behavior, and societal behavior, so far as the commercialization of technology is concerned. And we have been transferring various Indian technology to various countries, particularly in the African region, and successfully demonstrated Indian technology through various licensing agreement, and demonstrated Indian technology and given livelihood, and also promoted Indian technology to the various country, and also mitigate the challenge of the our society in providing a affordable, adaptable innovation for the growth. And Government of India has been supporting to various countries, and NRDC has taken that opportunity in promoting Indian technology globally and transferring international technology transfer. Not only to that, we are providing technology to various our public sector undertaking, various startup and MSME, those who are creating opportunity of livelihood, mitigating the challenge, and also we are supporting to startup and entrepreneur in protecting their intellectual property, not only in IP protection, validation, scale up, market survey, due diligence, and also seed funding support, so that they can give a new technology to the nation, for which we will proud for their activity and innovation, and also nation will proud for their creativity and innovation. That's our mandate in supporting all kind of IP and all kind of technological needs, and also reaching out to the MSME and startup, and also women entrepreneur whom we are giving all kind of all this support, and young entrepreneur, those who are making us proud, nation proud with their creativity and innovation. In this respect, I will certainly compliment that you have given me an opportunity, but I will certainly request you any kind of intellectual property support, validation support, development support, commercialization support. You are requested to talk to us, discuss with us, and certainly we have a MOU with Assam Downtown University. Our office premises will be there at Guwahati very soon, and any kind of support for this, you are requested to kindly join hand with us, so that we can make a sustainable ecosystem of innovation, where we can share the benefit and also build the capacity and connect the dot in mitigating the challenge of sustainable development. And that's our vision and mission in protecting IP and transferring IP and monetizing IP, and also commercializing IP. So friends, the problem is never how to get a new thought, innovative thought into our mind, but how to get the old one out. Thank you, Dr. Bhattacharya, for coordinating this program, and Dr. Manas and Professor Barua, and I am also grateful to Honorable Vice Chancellor for giving this opportunity. But certainly we will be connect, and any kind of support, you are most welcome to connect with us. My mobile number, email ID already I have given, and let's join hand, make the difference, and fulfill the dream of Mahatma Gandhi: skill, homegrown ideas, technology, and self-reliance. Thank you, all of you. God bless you. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a very enlightening talk. I believe some of the participants will have some questions or queries. So we will move forward to the interactive session. I would request the listeners and participants to come up with their questions.
Okay, first of all, respected sir, ma'am, okay, wait a second, okay, first of all, respected sir, ma'am, and all the fellow members out there, actually, and my name is Yongam Taji from AdtU, in civil BTech civil engineering, and I'm person in 6th sem, and sir, as you said, about the protection, about ideas and innovation. So basically, I have an idea concept of healthy beverages regarding this bamboo wine, so called, and also how as you have mentioned, how an Amul industry from brand from institution level to come up in a market level. So I want to request you regarding how can I bamboo wine and establish in a good factory for the people and by the people, and basically I'm from Arunachal Pradesh, so in Arunachal there are lots of bamboos available. I mean it's lots of, so that's why Arunachal is very famous for greenery and all also. So basically if I have lots of natural resources which are already preserved, and bamboo is such a grass that if I use it today also and tomorrow it will grow again, it's very easy. So in my village also there are lots of unemployment young youths, so basically if
Sorry to interrupt. What is your question exactly?
Actually my question exactly is to establish and to make a bamboo wine for the market, as sir mentioned earlier, how an Amul industry just developed from institute level to market level, right? So right now I'm in an institute level, and it's my golden opportunity that all my mentors Dr. Manus Borwa sir and Pranjal sir, so in behalf they are helping me a lot in this case also. So if sir is here, so yeah, the, Dr. Bijay Sahu sir is here, then yeah, probably so.
I will request you. You can talk to me online. My mobile number I have already given to you, and you just drop an email, and we'll get back to you what kind of support you are looking. Accordingly,
Okay.
we will discuss and channelize the collaboration for your activities.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you much, sir.
Thank you. Anyone have any query and question, please?
Participants who have any queries or questions, you are requested to come up with your question. So I had a question here. I do not have much idea about this, but then I just, when I heard you mention about the women entrepreneurs and women scientists, so what kind of special privileges are being given to the budding women scientists and entrepreneurs if they come up with some innovative idea?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to inform you that the Government of India, this program, particularly the Women Scientist Program, is those women who, because of family liability, they could not work and left the job. They can come to the mainstream as a woman scientist, as a IPR scientist. So for that, they will appear this examination on their course, and once they selected, they will get a 10-month training on IPR scientist of Government of India. Then they will choose, and they normally get absorbed in various ecosystem of environment as a scientist, IP scientist. And other than to this, we have a women scientist program for research and development. Suppose if you are working, you are a PhD holder, and you need some labs to work, you can also apply for a fund from Department of Science and Technology. That proposal must be societal driven, so that you can work as a scientist and get fund from that, and you can mitigate your own challenge and also do your best in the research and innovation. And third most important is that we have a startup and stand up India program. Stand up India program, any woman can get a funding. In fact, there is a criteria for that, and that I will certainly guide you, and we will discuss. My mobile number is with you, and I will look into that.
Thank you so much, sir. This has been a very interesting information. I believe there are many women who have these innovative ideas, but they do not know how to go about or how to proceed with their ideas. Thank you so much, sir. So participants, this is the last request. If you have any queries, you can ask, or we will proceed towards the conclusion of the session.
Normally, this online meetings, sometimes people join and leave, but that's I believe I understand the challenges today. So certainly I'll come to Assam Downtown University and discuss with you all physically. And in fact, 15 days back, I met Honorable Vice Chancellor and Professor Borua, and Dr. Manas was also I met. So we will do our best, and any kind of activities related to this, you are free to talk to us. We will do our best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So we will proceed towards the conclusion of the session. We have been highly privileged to have two of the most eminent speakers of the country with us today to throw light on some of the most crucial aspects of intellectual property and the rights that the owners of those property have over them. The first lecture of the Impact Lecture Series organized by the IIC Assam Downtown University, Guwahati, has come to an end successfully with very informative and inspiring lectures delivered by our honorable invited speakers today. The various topics covered in the lectures have highly benefited the faculty members and students by making us all aware of the legislative measures that can be taken to protect our intellectual creations. We have now become aware of why is there a need for that protection and how can that protection be ensured. I, on behalf of the organizing team, offer my sincere gratitude to our honorable guests for accepting our invitation and sparing their valuable time. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you from my side also.
Sir, namaskar.
I'm there. कैसे हैं?
How are you, sir?
Nice to see you.
Sir, ठीक हो, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. And your lecture was really very, very illuminating. And we look forward to
We will
something similar happening.
we will have many more lectures, sir, and it will be a physical lecture. Certainly, that will create more
Absolutely.
impact and opportunity.
Absolutely. And we want to see more technology transfers happening in Guwahati like in Vizag.
Yes, sir.
So
We'll do that, sir.
look forward to it. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you.
Take care. Yes, bye.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello, Tiger, Tiger. আজি মেলাত যাব লাগব। Ven, pase, ven.